Okay, well, I'm going to start recording. So you guys will be on the internet forever.
I just lost you. There
What's
you
that?
are.
And I'm going to take over the screen and start going over what I'm going to cover today. And hopefully other people will show up and we'll let them in. Okay, here's my October documentation, and I will open it up and do a quick cover of what I plan on covering. Of course, you can call me whatever you want to call me, and I am recording. If you have anything you would like or copies of this PDF, you can send it to li5678@live.com. I will send you a PDF. Questions, I will cover some questions here and take some questions in a minute. Marianne is wonderful in helping people get started and do things on the computer. And here's shortcuts to everything that you can get to that you click on and you get there. And here's October. Windows Help in Learning, making every day easier with Windows 11. So my theory is what I want to do is talk about you people who have Windows 11 and the problems you've had, and talk about people that don't have it yet that are worried about getting it. And I've got a bunch of things here, how to prepare, how to do this. And at the bottom down here, I have a list from my Consumer Report that lists what they consider the best computers over their last thing. And so here's 17, 18 inch, here's 15, 16 inch, here's 14 inch, here's 12 and 13 inch. And then going to talk about things. And then here's, should I update to Windows 11? How to keep using Windows 10 safely after support ends. And why doesn't someone simplify computers for seniors? Now, that applies to you all except me. But I plan on going down and covering these things and taking questions. And let me get started here, and I'm going to go down and, okay, you said you had a question, Pat?
Yes, I did. It applies to the new Outlook in Windows 11. I'm using the old classic look, the way it looks, but I'm not able. There used to be a line up above that you could put a name in and it would draw up and let you see those emails that referred to that particular name. It's no longer there. How do I find? I looked on all the lines and couldn't see it. Do you have any info on that?
Well, I know I've had problems even with my Office 365 Outlook, and there's the classic and then there's the new one. I hate the new one. And similar to what you're talking about, I would rather stay with the classic.
I did.
Mainly the reason is that my email, I have 8 different emails all coming in here. And when I went to the new one, they were showing one particular thing where I get my email, but I could hardly see all the other 7. So I was very disappointed with the new non-classic Outlook. And the same thing, I think, in your case, It's just not there yet.
Well, there used to be a spot, let's see, it was on the top line that was vacant that you could access, like put in a word like Larry Dusevage, and it would pop up your last few emails. Is there a place here that I'm not seeing?
Well, again, I have 365. Mine might look different than yours.
Looks very similar.
But I know up here, search. Let's just see what happens when I click search. That's not helping much. So let's see. Why don't you see if you can take over the screen so we can look at your computer?
Oh, let's see. Share. Ooh, this even looks different. What do I push? Share.
Pat Reese. Here's Zoom, okay?
Oh, shoot.
You should be able to minimize this up here.
Okay, here we are. There used to be a little spot up here, I think it was, or maybe on top here.
Click the favorites up here and see click that and see what shows up. Oh, click it again. I guess that's not really showing much.
No.
You said there used to be a spot for what again?
Well, you could put in something like I use it for finding, say, Carol sends me an application for New Horizons. And if I want to look back at it, I'll put in Carol's name or the name of the applicant, and up will pop a few emails telling me about it.
Okay, over here to the right, there's a little down arrow. Click
To the
that.
right.
All the way to the very right of your screen, there's a little down arrow.
Right.
Click that arrow. Click classic ribbon. So you got a simplified ribbon.
Oh.
So let's see, send receive folder file. So click that down arrow again and see if it goes back or stays that way. This arrow over here. The one down here.
Where is down here?
Don't keep over to the right, down, 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 up, down a little bit. Keep going down a little bit. Oh, too far. Yeah, classic ribbon, simplified. Let me click that downward box again and let's see the other choices. Full screen mode, show.
Oh, I see. I've got my
show
pictures are in the
ribbon.
way.
What's that?
My pictures are in the way.
Oh, okay. Well, you could move the whole thing over to the side if you wanted, but I'm trying to see what let's see, move, team, email, meeting, forward. I'm trying to, let's see. Over here where it says date, See what says Kitsap Sun, and right above it, it says by date.
Uh-huh.
Not that arrow, the next to it. Over to the left. Yeah, click that. And unread, flagged, you can get who's from. Click from.
Okay. So I click date and then
Yeah,
go
because it's
down.
sorted by date now. If you want to click from, it will sort it by who the emails are from.
And where do I type that in?
Where you what?
Well, I put from, and I was going to put in Carol.
Okay, now wait a minute. Close that for a second. Stay there. Click away from that. And over here, this is alphabetical now. So here's K. Scroll up here to look for Carol. Right here, yeah, click that. Keep going. No, you're scrolling down. Scroll. Here's Carol. So these are all from Carol.
Okay, so I did this. It's all involved with this.
Yeah. Normally
Okay.
you get it by date. You want the latest ones. But if you want to sort it to find someone, you would click from.
Okay.
Okay, now click that little from arrow over here again, the little down arrow. And there's other choices. You could click to, you could click size, subject, so on and so forth.
Okay.
So there's various ways, but normally you want to be by date because the latest ones then go to the top. See, this is A, this is from. So click that, now click date down here. Now it's back to the alphabetical date of when.
Okay.
That explain it?
Yes, I can do that.
Larry,
Yes.
what I usually do is I go up to the line on the very, very top where it says search and there's a magnifying glass. And I type in the name of the person whose email I want to check. And then hit enter and all of their emails will come up.
Well, the problem is, see, she has more than one email box.
Well, it depends on which one you're in.
That's right. It's going to sort by the one you're in.
Yeah.
If the email you got is in a different one, you won't see it.
Well, these
I hear what you're saying,
all of them.
but the search only works for the inbox that you're in.
So what do you do, Carol?
Well, I go up. Usually, I use Gmail, and I
Oh,
go to the very tippy top line up there.
It says search
Hit
up here.
search.
You want to
okay.
go click search? If you can see
Yeah.
it, there you go. Click that. And then suggested searches, Marianne, suggested actions, signature, inbox.
I just type in what I want.
Yeah, type
Oh,
Type in Larry.
see what happens. And okay, so this is by date, but it's highlighting Carol.
right. That's what yeah, okay. So I can do it either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is by date. If you want everything from Carol, then you'd go up here and change this from date to received.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I've got that. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll stop sharing.
Okay. Any other questions on that type of thing?
Thank you.
I don't care for the newest one, even in 365. I like the classic because I've had a lot of problems with the newest one covering more than one email address.
Larry, I do have a question about it keeps coming up and threatening me to I'm going to lose 365 come October 9th. What is that? That's not too far away. And I had a friend who let that ride and ignored it, and she still has kept the original. They haven't taken it away from her, and they keep sending her notices they want her to buy.
Where are you getting your 365 from? Did you sign up for it and pay for it, or did somebody else
No,
tell you to
no,
use it?
they gave me 30 days free or something.
Okay,
And so I'm just for 2 more days or 3 more days, what is it? Tomorrow. Um, supposedly I lose it. I don't have another one yet.
Oh, I could give you one of mine. I've got 5 of them and I haven't
that's
done.
right. If you have 365, you can share with 4 other people besides yourself. And if they pay for it when they go to the next year, then yours will go automatically.
Okay,
So
and then I can pay Carol for my share.
she can share with you. I'm sharing with 3 different people on mine besides myself. Yes, Ed.
Okay, about this, I have on my Windows 10 Student in Office 2016, and Mary Ann said she could put it on my Windows 11. So I don't know if there's going to be a problem with Windows 11 with that older uh, Word or Excel program or not.
No, as long as you got the password or the key for it, which you should have got when you paid for it, then you can activate it in the next Windows.
Oh, I don't know if I don't have the box down here. I thought Best Buy installed, but I don't remember now. It's been so darn long ago since 2017. But maybe since Mary Ann mentioned she's got one, so maybe that'll work. I don't know.
Well, normally when you buy it, you get a code. Uh, and you keep that code, and then you can use it for as long as you want.
Oh,
So I would check. Let's see. You want to try taking over the screen, and we'll take a look.
okay.
I've got the same thing and I've got a code.
Mm-hmm. Can you click share down there, Ed?
Oh, I clicked the green one, and now here's the.
Okay, so you can minimize this screen.
Minimize. There it is. Whoops. That went away. Oh, how
Okay,
do I
now
get it?
pull up your Word. Open your Word program.
Okay.
Click
There's Word.
account down here towards the bottom.
Oh,
See where, yeah, click that.
okay. Why, there's supposed to be some
Product
kind of code
activate.
up here?
Search
Huh?
license, it says, or switch license. I don't know if you want to do that. Office 365, about Word. I'm looking on here to see where it might say. I would manage settings. Click manage settings and see what it says.
Let's see, where's that at?
Right here. See it account privacy manage settings.
I don't know where we're looking at.
Oh, you don't see my pointer?
No,
Oh, okay. Well,
I think I hit the minimize and I see the words account there, but
yeah,
I don't see.
go to
I'm not
account,
seeing.
go to account and
Oh,
go slide your pointer down from account, straight down.
it's
Says
not
manage.
working.
Where's your pointer?
You
Okay.
see it?
go up a little bit. Up, move up, right there. See
Oh,
what,
that one.
click that and see what that says.
Your privacy matters.
Hmm. Can you scroll down over here on the bar on the right of that? See what other choices there are? Experience, all connected. Hmm. Yeah, I don't see anything there. You can click the X and close that. There's got to be something, maybe under options down here, there's account and then there's, let's see, 365 add-ons, about Word.
There's options.
Yeah. Hmm. Pending display. General. Click advanced here. See what's under
Where's it?
advanced over here to the left,
Oh, to the left.
right
Oh,
there.
there it is.
See what that says. Hmm. Scroll down a little bit and see. Hmm. Hmm. Display, proofing, save, language, accessibility. Yeah, I close that out. I'm not sure. There's got to be a place here.
Oh, something disappeared. I hit cancel.
Click home over here again and see what happens.
Home.
Sometimes you go over here to where it says home and click home.
Where's home?
Upper left
Upper left.
of that screen.
Oh, that is okay.
Click that again. Oh, Go ahead and close out a word totally. Click the X over
Let's see.
here.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Let me write that down. I'm going to have to look because there is a way you can get your code, and I just don't know how to do it off the top of my head. So
Okay,
Ed Word 2016, right?
yeah, Student Office 2016.
Hmm. Let's see. Go down and hit the lower left button down here, your start button, lower left corner of your screen. Click that. What I'm looking for is Office 265 or 2016.
Don't see it there.
Well, why don't you click away and then start in the search box down here, type Office 2016. Office 2016 product key. See what that says. Find your Office product key. I'm sure there's a way to find it, but I'm not seeing it pop up here quickly. Using product key with Office 2016. Sponsored Microsoft. Click this, where to enter your Office product key under Microsoft support. See what that says. Install. You're invited. I don't want you to unlock that. No. I don't see it right off. Let me do some research and I'll get back to you.
Okay, because this is all new to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have a product key somewhere.
Oh,
And with that key, when you go to a new computer, you delete it off your old computer. Well, if you get rid of your old computer, it'll do automatically, and then you put in the key for the new computer. But there is a key somewhere.
okay. I wasn't sure how Marianne was going to do that.
Well, and she knows how to do things like that too. So,
Yeah,
okay, you want to stop sharing? And
okay.
Larry, can I ask a question relating to this?
sure.
Carol's offer came up, but I do have, like Ed, a 2016. When you installed my last computer, there was difficulty with Microsoft. And so when you talked to them, they gave me a 365 or a, you know, the whole schmear with Excel and Word and everything on it. So I still have this old 2016, and I do have the key. Would it be better to do that or
That's
to
right.
go
Ed,
with?
do you have, you look, lift up what you got in your hand there so Ed can see it. And the box that it came with.
I don't have a box. I didn't find a box.
How did you get it?
I bought it at, this is
Right,
the box outside.
right. How did you get yours, Ed?
I bought it at Costco, mine.
So
Well, when
Ed,
I
how
looked,
did you get yours?
well, I looked on my shelf here and I don't see the box. So I don't know how it got on. I don't remember. I have to take another look again.
You might want to do that if you bought it somewhere, and normally that's how you install it. But if you don't, I'm still going to look to see if I can't find out the way to do it online.
Okay, sure
Oh, would I
appreciate
be
that.
better? Would I be better going with Carol and using the old 2016?
You'd be better going with Carol because that's the
Okay,
latest stuff. And you know,
Carol and I will wheel and deal then.
okay,
Okay,
she can go online and offer you a to share.
yes. And if Ed can't get his working, maybe he would like to take this one and use it.
That's a possibility.
Okay, keep that in mind, Ed.
But you'd have to delete it off your computer.
I never put it on my computer.
Oh, wow.
You tried, and when it didn't work, they gave me a free program at that
Okay,
time.
Did you hear that, Ed?
I sure did.
Okay, well, if we go to that point, then, you know, you have to take the old gray-haired lady's key here and make it work.
Okay, I'm looking at my box right now again.
Okay.
Don't let Ed, it sounds like you have one through me.
Okay, I do appreciate that.
Okay,
Any other
Bye-bye.
questions before we get started? Okay, I'm going to take the screen again. And
Oh.
again, back to I like the classic
Oh.
Outlook rather than the new one because the new one just is not up to date yet. You showing something, Ed?
Yeah, I found Office Home and Student 2007,
Ah, okay.
but that's a little bit behind the times.
Well, that's true. But you found that, you probably didn't even know you had it. So you probably got the other one hidden somewhere.
Well, I don't see it here.
Okay. Well, let me look and keep Pat in mind, and if it works out that way, then we'll get it going. But
Okay.
anyway, Office 365 costs you about $100 and some dollars a year, and you can share it with 4 other people. So that's something worthwhile. And then if you want, you can say, okay, send me $20 and you're sharing it with me. And like I say, I do share mine with 3 other people right now. So, and I like what it offers, especially Outlook, which is the newest Outlook, rather than the one that comes with the Windows program.
Larry, I
Yeah.
still need help setting mine up when you get time one of these days.
I'm sorry, what's that?
When you get time one of these days, I bought it, I don't know, last August or something, and I've never set it up. So, I keep getting notices that I need to set it up.
Oh, okay. Well, I will make a note here to pick on Carol.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anything else before we get started here? Now, what I wanted to do was get you people that have 11 and mention what's going on to you people who have 10 that haven't gone to 11 yet. And like I say, there are certain things you could do to stay on 10, but I would double think that. And like I say, in this thing here, I have a consumer report, and they list more than this. I'm just showing the top ones. My wife has a LG Gram Pro 17 2024, and she really likes it. And some of the best places to get the newest computers is Costco. And they will actually help get your stuff from the old computer to the new one. They're very good. But this is an idea of what people say about these particular computers. So here's the 17 and 18 inch. Here's this 15 and 16 inch. And they give you a rough price, and there's a thing that says shop, but mine's a picture, so you can't use that. If you're interested, let me know and I'll give you a better view of it. Here's a 14 inch. And actually there's 35 of them listed, but I'm only showing you the first top ones. And then here's a 12 and 13 inch. Now I have a 13 inch Microsoft computer, which I put on a big screen. So you don't have to have a big, huge laptop in order to display it on a bigger screen, but it depends what you use your laptop for. If you carry it and go to all these different places, then you'll want a bigger screen probably. But anyway, this is part of it, and these are there. And if you got questions about these or more, let me know, and I will send you more information. But this is all on my, consumer report, sign in, and I'm a big consumer report person, so. All right, come on, move you guys out of the way. Okay, so this is me, and what I do is I go to electronics, home office, laptops. and they have Chromebooks, and then they have laptops, and they look at these individually without somebody paying them to do it, and they decide what the best ones are. That's what I like about Consumer Report. I always go there when I want to buy something for my house, refrigerator, stove, whatever, look it up, and it's showing basically what I've copied, but there's more information here. If you want one particular one, let me know, and I can give
Larry,
you
do
more
you have a
information.
subscription to that?
What's that?
Do you have a subscription to Consumer Report?
I do.
Okay, and it costs so much a year or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
Okay,
I
thank
don't
you.
remember. It's like $39, something like that. I don't remember. But I believe in them because they don't take money to advertise, and they evaluate everything. And for example, you can go to cars, you can go to home and garden. Let's see, travel, news. Anyway, there's all kinds of things here, products A through Z. But that's what I use for looking up things. And I like their ratings. They tell you what are the best things, so on and so forth. So that's Consumer Report. Now, I also pay for Puget Sound Checkbook, which again is, I don't know, $20 a year or something like that. I just do it. I don't. And this is the Consumer Report for your local area. So here I am. Hi, Larry. And here's, for example, stores. This is a list of stores rated in your area and what you're looking for. Here's computer stores. And here's ratings. And they say 50 miles away. Well, I don't want to go to Seattle. So here's the best ratings of 10 miles away. And they give you what people have rated these. Of course, Apple Store is always the highest. Best Buy is pretty good, 70%. Costco is 70%. And here's 181 ratings for Costco, 72. Here's Dell Office. Anyway, they give you ratings of local area. And you can find ratings for anything: pet care, stores, auto service, home services. Let me click stores again. You can do appliance stores, car dealerships, flooring, computer, furniture, garden, grocery stores. Here's grocery stores. And they rate them. Albertsons is 1% lower, but their ratings aren't real high. Here's Amazon Fresh, which I don't have around here. Central Market, Costco ratings are very high. Fred Meyer is pretty good, 14% lower prices. Grocery outlets, 27% lower. Safeway, 4% lower. Target's 8% lower. Walmart's 22% lower. And Winco is 25% lower. So they're rating these local items here in the area and telling you which ones have the best things. And again, this is not something somebody pays for to write these ratings. This is people do it themselves. Anyway, questions on that? So I pay for both of those, but to me, I save money in the long run because if I buy something new for the house, they tell me the best ones. Okay, I'm going to start into the class. Here's Windows Help in Learning, and I actually have a shortcut to it right over here on my desktop, but this will take you right to it. And this takes you to Windows, and it says, make the everyday easier with Windows 11. Meet Windows 11. Welcome to all things Windows. Prepare for Windows 11. So I was hoping to get more people that still had 10, that they could go through these and see what they need. Here's Windows 11 Prepare Meet Widgets. I actually look at widgets because over here in the left-hand corner of my screen, I put my mouse and widgets comes up and shows me different things of what's happening, notifications, Bremerton weather, what the Dow is doing, so on and so forth. But I keep it there, but it's out of the way unless I put my mouse on it. And here's Meet Windows 11, explore the taskbar, Windows 11 topics, everything you need to know. And I'm hoping before you upgrade to Windows 11, you take a look at this and see what's happening. But make every day easier with Windows 11, so on and so forth. And here's the choices that you had. Meet Windows 11, welcome to all things Windows. That's what you just saw. Prepare for Windows 11. Find answers and top questions about Windows 11 upgrade. So here's a, see the upgrade frequently asked questions. Meet widgets, which I just showed you widgets, but you don't have to have them there. You can, one of the choices is not to show them. So if I go down here to click on my taskbar settings, right here, it shows widgets. If I don't want to see them over there to the left, I click turn it off. Now it's gone. It's not on my menu anymore. And various things here about Windows 11. So I'm sort of going through these fast unless somebody has some questions. Watch the video series of Meeting Windows 11. Ed, you're the one that might be more interested because you're not at 11 yet.
Yeah, from your last lesson plan there, I looked at 3 of those tutorials there, and there's a lot of information that I printed, and then I printed a list of the websites. But when I was off your page there, went through the search engine, I came up with a little bit something different. So that was kind of interesting, but it was a learning experience.
Right. Well, there are a few exceptions, and sometimes what you can do is if you have Windows 10, even though it says you can upgrade, you could do it, but probably you're going to slow down to so much that, well, unless you're in your 80s or 90s, you'd probably be happy to slow down. But other than that, you might want to not slow down your computer if you use it. So here's requirements for Windows 11. How to use the PC health check, so on and so forth. These are here, but I wanted to cover, and again, these are shortcuts to the best places according to Consumer Report and which computers are the best depending on size. And it's all in my thing. Puget Sound checkbook I mentioned. You can go to settings on your taskbar. What I wanted to do is cover, should I upgrade to Windows 11? And let him talk about it a little bit. So this is from October 2025 update. And this is Ask Leo.
Watch what magnesium does to your bowels.
If you have to wipe more than 4 times after you poop, here's why.
Skip.
Should I update to Windows 11? October 2025 update. Hi, everyone. Leo Notenboom here for AskLeo.com. All right, you guys. The time is here. October the 14th, 2025 is upon us. Windows 10's end of support is imminent. With Windows 10 support coming to an end, it's time to consider just what you want to do. Now, I want to be really super duper clear about this. I'm still not saying that you have to update to Windows 11. Don't take this the wrong way. I'm going to recommend that you do so if you can, but that's all it is, a recommendation. As I've said in multiple places and at multiple times, Windows 10 will keep working beyond its end of support date. you can continue to use Windows 10 safely by essentially taking more responsibility for your own security. You could also consider enrolling in the Extended Security Update Program, the ESU, to, in a sense, just push that end of support date out one additional year. Eventually, though certainly not right away, some of your third-party applications may also end their support for Windows 10. If you don't want to or can't upgrade to Windows 11, keep calm and carry on in Windows 10. All right, let's talk about Windows 11. It's now 4 years old. It's a fine version of Windows from my perspective. I have been using it daily almost since the day it was released, and I've been happy with it from the start. I have it on both my primary desktop machine and my laptop. I've long said that it really just feels like a super big feature update to Windows 10 that it does a completely different version of Windows. The taskbar was moved and there's a somewhat different look and feel to it, but it's pretty much the same operating system. Now, I know not everyone feels this way, but from my perspective, there just wasn't that much to get used to when I switched. It and I just kept on working. Now, until now, my take was that Windows 11 rated a big eh. There just wasn't any compelling reason to switch. However, since Windows 10's end of support is imminent, I think it's time to consider the change, as long as your hardware supports it. Yes, one frustrating aspect of Windows 11 is its system requirements. Many machines, heck, even some relatively new ones, fail the compatibility test. There are workarounds for installing Windows 11 if your machine isn't up to the requirements. Microsoft has disabled many of the previous workarounds, and those that are still working may be disabled at some point. Microsoft has also indicated that machines updated to Windows 11 through those workarounds may not receive updates or may have other issues that Microsoft simply won't address. New machines, of course, are likely and actually have had Windows 11 pre-installed for some time. Great, keep it, it's fine. There's no reason to run away from Windows 11. As I said, I use it every day, and it's just as fine as Windows 10, in my opinion. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about what I call the every other version curse. I want to be clear, this is in no way a reason to avoid Windows 11, but some might take it as one. I find it at least curious. Here's how it goes. Windows XP, super popular. Windows Vista, not so much. Windows 7, once again, super popular. Windows 8, not so much. Windows 10, on over 1 billion machines, very popular to this day. Windows 11, it remains to be seen. Now, it's as much a superstition as anything else, and by itself, like I said, it's not a reason to avoid anything, particularly since there's been no word about any successor to Windows 11. And yet, there does seem to be a pattern. Make of it what you will. Now, to say Windows 11 elicits strong opinions in some people is perhaps an understatement. I want to address some of the more common ones. Everyone hates Windows 11. No. Here's the thing. You're only likely to hear from people who are experiencing issues. They look for help or just vent in various public forums. The people who like it, the people for whom it's just working, are quietly getting on with their work. I'm convinced there are many, many more of them than there are haters. Microsoft is evil, spying, scanning, etc. Well, honestly, that's not a Windows 11 problem. I know some feel Windows 11 is worse in some Microsoft is evil kind of way, but I don't see it. Windows 10 introduced much of the telemetry people complain about. To the best of my knowledge, Windows 11 hasn't made that significantly worse. Windows 11 pushes things on me that I don't want. That's not a Windows 11 problem either. Seriously, every version of Windows included features and functionality that many, though again, not all, people objected to. Some people grew to like the new features, and some of the features just disappeared. In addition, Many of the current complaints aren't about Windows 11 per se, but about specific features being introduced and pushed hard across both Windows 10 and 11. What's worthy of your ire is how Microsoft is pushing those features, like OneDrive. Microsoft is colluding with hardware manufacturers to force us to buy new machines. Oh, hell no. Honestly, this conspiracy theory frustrates me to no end. No one is forcing you to purchase a new machine. Stick with Windows 10. Switch to Linux. Use one of the hardware requirement bypasses. None of those options require you to spend $1. Yeah, eventually you're likely to get a new machine. Not because anyone forced you to, but because it was time on your own schedule. That's been the case since PCs were invented. As a side effect, you'll have a machine that then meets the new hardware requirements. You're just a Microsoft shill. I often get accused of being on Microsoft's payroll. And for the record, I haven't been for decades, and it ended long before Ask Leo. I'm supposedly getting paid to endorse them. I have yet to see a check, or I'm some kind of Microsoft apologist. When I recommend you consider Windows 11, it triggers the anti-Microsoft crowd something fierce. I'm a realist. I have lots of complaints about Microsoft and Windows. Lots. Trust me on this. But I also realize that leaving Microsoft and Windows behind isn't in the cards for many people, including a lot of my audience. Railing against all of Microsoft's evil, of which I agree there is much, wouldn't be helpful. Helping people switch to something else would benefit only a small portion of my audience. Instead, I try to help people make informed decisions and work within the system they have. So, bottom line, it's time to think about moving to Windows 11. If your machine can run Windows 11, and the PC Health Check app will tell you, then it's time to consider what you'll do next. Your options: upgrade to Windows 11 now, revert to Windows 10 if you can't stand it or have other issues. Wait, upgrade to Windows 11 when you get a new machine that comes with it pre-installed. Stay with Windows 10, or use this as an excuse to switch to Linux. Whichever you choose, please make sure you take a complete system image before changing anything so that you can revert to what you have right now if something doesn't work out. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/135037. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is AskLeo.com. Thanks for watching.
So, any thoughts on what he said?
Kind of up in the air.
Yeah, I know. And like I say, it depends part of it, what you do. I mean, I use my computer all the time for all kinds of things. Some people only go online and look at things online. Some people use their computer just for email. I mean, it depends on what you do as to when you should upgrade. But it is time to think and make a decision. Now, here's another one: how to keep using Windows 10 safely after support ends. I wanted to play this one so that you get a better feel for what he's saying.
Why did Amazon send me $20,000? Because I use Amazon AI. I'm going to show you a way to...
How to keep using Windows 10 safely after support ends. Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for AskLeo.com. Here's a comment I've been hearing lately. You keep saying we can keep using Windows 10 safely after support ends. How is that even possible? I know it's a controversial position that not everyone agrees with, some quite angrily, in fact. I believe it is quite possible to keep using Windows 10 safely after Microsoft ends its official support of the operating system. There are two things you need to do, and both of them are things you should be doing already. First, practice safe computing. This is the single most important thing you need to do to keep using Windows 10 safely. In fact, like I said, it's something you should already be doing and should represent no additional work on your part. Windows 10 end of support is simply a reminder not to drop your guard. What does that mean? Well, from my most important article ever, it includes things like using good security software, which I'll talk about in a minute, keeping your other software up to date, securing your online accounts, educating yourself, securing your home and mobile connections, remembering your physical security, and of course, backing up. I'm going to go one step further and say that your actions are much more important than anything Microsoft might fix in the operating system, regardless of which version of Windows you're running. Why? Because more people are compromised by skimping on those things than they are by some random unpatched vulnerability. In fact, most unpatched vulnerabilities require that the malware make it past you to be exploited. In other words, if there's something that Microsoft doesn't patch, your good habits are what will protect you in almost every case. Second, use good security software. And I continue to recommend Windows Security, aka Windows Defender or whatever they're calling it this week, as a solid security solution built right into Windows. It's already there and you might already be using it. Microsoft has stated that they will continue to provide security definition updates for Windows security until at least 2028. Thus, even on Windows 10, where Windows itself will not be updated after the end of support date, the security software will remain current. If that still concerns you, fine. There are several other good security suites that you can switch to. Windows Security will just step out of the way when you install them, and they will continue to provide protection long after the Windows 10 end of support date. The result is what I'll refer to as two-step protection. Your good habits will prevent malware from reaching your machine. Up-to-date security software will detect and thwart most everything else that might make it through. Now, I do need to talk about the Extended Security Updates, or ESU. If you continue to use Windows 10 past its end of support date, you might consider signing up for the ESU. That program is nothing more than an extension of the end of support deadline for 1 year. After that, it's up to you to simply continue relying on yourself and your security software once again. But aren't operating system updates critical? Keeping all your software as up-to-date as possible has always been important. That hasn't changed. However, important doesn't mean can't live without. Security, all security, is about playing the odds and stacking the deck in your favor. There is no such thing as perfection, even with security updates for Windows. Looking at it a different way, all of these following things have to be true in order for something bad to happen to you. First, there has to be a bug in Windows. Second, that bug must represent a security vulnerability of some sort. Third, hackers need to know about the bug. Fourth, hackers need to devise a way to exploit the bug for malicious purposes. 5, there must be a way for hackers to get that exploit to you, typically as malware. 6, you have to allow the malware on your machine, typically through a download of some sort, including email attachments. 7, your security software must miss the fact that malware has been downloaded to your machine. 8, you have to run the malware, meaning you run a download or open that attachment. And 9, your security software has to miss the fact that malware is running on your machine. Thwarting any of those items means that the malicious vulnerability will not affect you. Ongoing security updates deal only with number 1, and even then only if number 2 is deemed important enough. Malware still has many hoops to jump through in order to impact you. Your job, keep your guard up for the steps you control. That means not allowing malware onto your machine to begin with and using good security software. Now, there are primarily 2 objections to what I suggest. There's a theory that hackers have already discovered 1 or more vulnerabilities, but they're holding on to that knowledge until after the end of support date. After that date, they'll release the malware, exploiting the vulnerabilities, and wreak havoc. The other, of course, is that the thinking that Windows vulnerabilities seem to be found so frequently that it's inevitable that something will be discovered after the end of support date with the same result. Now, I personally don't think hackers are disciplined enough for the first to have any merit. Windows 7's end of support faced exactly the same fear, and absolutely nothing came of it. In a way, it's really just a subset of the second point. And as for the second, I don't buy it. Sure, there's a constant stream of bug fixes to Windows. We see it every Patch Tuesday. But by and large, those A, aren't security issues, and B, those that are rarely affect a broad swath of Windows users. On top of that, most bugs are introduced as software is changed. Windows 10 isn't changing anymore. The rate at which Windows 10 vulnerabilities are being introduced should be at a near standstill. The only potential concern would be vulnerabilities that have gone undetected for a long time, which by definition should be almost none. Now, we've been here before. We have experience with exactly this scenario in 2 very interesting and very different ways. First, when Windows 7's support ended, there were dire predictions of both of the objections above: a previously known vulnerability to be unleashed after end of support, and dire consequences regardless. Neither failed to materialize. And just as there are people who want to stick with Windows 10 today, some folks kept on using Windows 7 safely after its end of support. How? By following the 2-step protection I outlined above. Some are still using Windows 7 today. Second, there are people who have already been running Windows 10 without updates. For various reasons, often the perception that Windows updates themselves were more disruptive than they're worth, individuals disabled them. That means no updates at all, security or otherwise, and they are apparently happy with that result. I also hear from others who are actually looking forward to the cessation of Windows 10 updates for that very reason. I'm not one to jump into conspiracy theories, and while I don't think this is intentional, there's something that is worth pointing out. It is in Microsoft's best interest to let all of the FUD about Windows 10 end of support go unchallenged. The more people feel they must update to Windows 11, even if that means getting a new machine, the better Microsoft and PC manufacturers make out. That you might be able to keep on using Windows 10 safely, it's just not a message you're going to hear from Microsoft. All right, there is one fly in the Windows 10 ointment that might not be Microsoft at all. At some point, the software you're using from other sources may stop supporting Windows 10. It's another path we've been down before. After Windows 7 support ended, most software from other sources kept right on working. In fact, many continue to work and be updated on Windows 7 to this day. But not all. At various points in the years since, some software vendors have decided to stop supporting Windows 7. In most cases, though, it was several years after Microsoft's own Windows 7 support ended. Now, there's every reason to believe that the same kind of thing will happen to Windows 10. In fact, yeah, I've heard reports of at least one package that already requires Windows 11 for future versions. There's little you can do about that other than either moving to Windows 11 or finding an alternative that still supports Windows 10, or keep using the last version that still supports Windows 10. So Bottom line here, after all is said and done, yeah, sure, upgrade to Windows 11 if it makes sense for you. That means both you and your hardware are compatible with Windows 11. If that's not you, however, you can keep using Windows 10 safely by following the two-step process I outlined above. And even then, those 2 steps should already be what you're doing anyway. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/184526. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.
Well, Ed, did that change your mind?
Sometimes I think it's a little bit more confusing especially when he mentioned 7 can still work okay on. So holy smokes.
Right. And like you say, you got to be careful though. You have to be a person that looks at your email. You don't click on things that are could cause problems and stuff like that. So like I say, it's a matter of how you use your computer. If you see something you want to download and you don't check it out, you put it on your computer, it could be bad. But if you're very careful about what you're doing, there's a possibility of staying with that. And it's a personal decision. And like I said, a lot of people are still with the older stuff, but there are goods and bads to both.
Yeah, it's just like do not click on links on emails.
That's right. That's right. You got to be very careful of email and stuff popping up on your computer and clicking on it. You get a pop-up saying you've got a virus, click here. Don't do it. That doesn't mean you have a virus. It just means you got a pop-up, turn your computer off and start it back up. That's right. Hold that on-off button down, Ed.
Been there.
Yeah, I know. And that happened. So I was hoping more people that didn't have 10 would be showing up or didn't have 11 to be showing up. But if you know some, this is a a good article that people can read. They can see. I wanted to cover this last one about seniors because it applies to all of you but me.
If you eat butter daily, this is what happens. The reason butter is called butter is...
Why doesn't someone simplify computers for seniors? Everyone, Leo Notenboom here for AskLeo.com. Here's a question I got just the other day. Bottom line here is that someone needs to simplify today's computer operations for seniors, whose goals are likely different than younger and institutional users. Surely someone can come up with a jitterbug laptop. I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is that you are absolutely right. Seniors, or honestly, since it's not really an age thing, those with different priorities than the more technologically inclined are underserved. I totally agree. The bad news? I think it's extremely unlikely to change. But I do have a couple of things to look at. From a tech company's cold bottom line perspective, addressing an older audience is by definition a shrinking market. It's certainly less lucrative than the next shiny thing they want to invest in. From my perspective, it's not an age thing as much as it is an interest thing or an ability thing. And those kinds of things cross all ages. In my recent article, Too Old for Tech, Nonsense, I address my feelings on that matter. There are many legitimate reasons to be overwhelmed by or have difficulty with technology, and most of them are unrelated to age. Nonetheless, most big tech companies seem indifferent to the issues, regardless of their origin. That means it's up to us. Now, I'm in no way criticizing your question or your approach. Your frustration is completely warranted and very common, as are bad and even sometimes embarrassing past experiences. But the reality is that the only thing we have true control over is our willingness to adapt and cope. From my perspective, this isn't just some stoic platitude or theory. I see it play out all the time. People with even a slightly more positive attitude have better luck overall. They experience fewer problems than their less positive counterparts. It's not that the problems are easier or harder, it's that there are fewer problems. It's the weirdest thing, and I'm sure that there's some deep psychological reason for it, but it doesn't matter. I can confirm that a better attitude leads to fewer problems. The good news? Well, our attitude is within our control. Okay, so about that Jitterbug. Jitterbug, shown here on the screen, I've got their website up, is a mobile phone designed and marketed as simple cell phones for seniors. Their smartphone has a larger simplified display and applications customized for its target audience. They also have this bigger button flip phone. Even with aggressive marketing to seniors, the phones might make great devices for anyone who struggles with technology, regardless of age. Now, so far, there's no Jitterbug laptop, but I do have 3 things that I think are worth investigating. The first is the Chromebook. A Chromebook is a laptop, but I tend to think of them as Android phones with a real screen and keyboard, or at least a larger touchpad, and no phone. It's a fine solution for people who just want to surf and email and watch YouTube videos or even stream and more. Many of the apps in the Android Play Store are available, or there's an equivalent. I find it honestly much less complicated than, say, Windows or Mac OS. Speaking of Macs, of course, there's the iPad. iPads and other tablets are certainly things that are worth looking into. I know several people who use tablets almost exclusively. This could be a comfortable middle ground. They're very smartphone-like. iPads run iOS the same as iPhones, and most other tablets run a version of Android, the OS on most non-Apple mobile phones. And they can run a wide variety of available applications, or not, if you want to keep things simple. You can add a keyboard if you prefer and make use of voice to text to dictate email or documents. So GrandPad is another option. It's something I encountered a few years ago. I now have an 84-year-old relative who's using one of these, and honestly, it's been a good experience. It's limited, it's simple, and it's designed to be administered by a more tech-savvy family member to gauge what the user can and can't do for their safety. It includes email and YouTube and the like, but not, say, completely open web surfing. I never expected my relative to do email, for example, and yet they've been communicating with my wife regularly that way for a couple of years now. The GrandPad's been great, if somewhat limited, solution for them. I think of Jitterbug as being somewhere between all of these options. I honestly don't know of a more directly comparable computer equivalent. Now, whether a device is useful to tech-challenged users also depends on what kind of support is available. I mean support in 2 ways, from the manufacturer and from your personal network. Jitterbug phones, for example, have a wide variety of support options, some of which include direct personal contact with an individual to help you. GrandPad, I believe, includes similar levels of support. The support for more generic devices like iPads and tablets and Chromebooks varies a lot based on, well, where you purchase them. That next level support, though, is all about who you can reach out to for help within what I'll call your own personal network. That can include anyone from your more technically inclined family members to support options at local senior centers and libraries. How you will get help using the device can sometimes be even more important than which device you end up using. In fact, one piece of advice I often give is to factor in who can help you in your initial purchase decision. If you have several iPad owners in your circle of friends, for example, that might tip the scales a little towards buying the same device they're using. So, bottom line, consider the devices that I've mentioned above. Even if they're not right for you, do what you can to keep on keeping on anyway. Technology opens doors. Some doors are heavier than others, but almost all are worth a look inside. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/1.
Well, I wanted to cover those because I thought they were at the right time important to do things and talk about. And do you upgrade or not? Again, it depends. If you're a safe surfer, you go online, you do the safe things, you know how to be safe. What he's saying is, yeah, you could stay with 10. If you're not, then there's got to be something to support you, and the updates from Microsoft will support you. Notice he did mention that the antivirus program he used was the default one in Windows 10, which I use and I definitely like. And Office 365 has a little bit deeper one. I keep mentioning 365, and again, it's about $100 or so a year. You got the latest of everything, all their different ones, and you can share it with 4 other people for free. It's a personal choice, and I like that choice, and I do share it with others right now. So let's talk about questions because we're almost there. Did you learn anything? You know other people that are still on 10 that might learn from this. You can send this PDF if you want it to someone else, and they can look through it and go through these various things. So basically, it's up to you. And most of you are already at 11. I was hoping to get more 10ers here, but I guess I don't. So I'm going to stop sharing at the moment and go back and, yes, Ed.
Yeah, I looked on my, when I do my daily updates there, I see that extended, I never did click on anything to learn about it there. So I don't know if that's a safe way. And I don't know what it would cost there or anything like that. And here, so you don't really need it, or from what Leo's mentioned as well. So it's just one of those little situations you don't know which way to go.
That's right. If you have been safe in the past and you know how to do surfing and not download things and not click on things and be careful, then you could stay with 10. It's not a major problem. But if you're already at 11, then hopefully there's things here you can learn about 11 that makes it easier for you.
Yeah, tomorrow when I take my Windows 11 in there to Marianne's class there, I'll even learn more.
Okay, well, that's good. And any other questions we got going here? Yes, Carol.
Oh, wait, yeah, I have a question on the 365. I think it's told me that in addition to being able to share it with 4 other people, I can also, if I have, I can put it on my desktop and my laptop and a tablet and a phone. Is that correct, or is that?
My understanding is that is correct. If it's all in the same household, you can put it on more than one item and it doesn't count for sharing.
Oh, good.
Because I have it on my wife's computer and I have it on mine, and it's not considered sharing.
Okay,
So you
good.
can still share with 4 other people. So if it's all in the same household, same area, everything going through the same internet, then you should be able to put it on more than one item.
Okay. I'd like to put it on my phone.
Yes, you can. I have not done that, but it can be done.
Good. Okay.
Anybody else?
No.
Looked like you were sleeping through most of it, Albert.
Part of it.
Okay.
Thanks, Larry.
All
Thank you.
right. Well, enjoy. You got questions, you want copies of this, send it to friends. I mean, if you got a PDF of this, send it to somebody that's on the verge of 10 or 11. And I think there's information here. I didn't cover everything. There's a lot I didn't cover. I will decide what to do on the next class. And either cover or go on to another topic. So feel
Are-
free.
Are you gonna put this up on the KCS YouTube? Because I have
It will go up on YouTube probably later today or tomorrow.
okay, yeah, I have,
Okay, and you can send other people there to see it.
yeah,
Okay? All right. Well, have a good one.
you too.
I'm going
Thank
through all
you.
kinds of things here with a new hip and my wife deciding to hit the sidewalk with her face and a few things like that. So it's not been a good time, but we're getting there.
Oh,
I was going to get my hip checked by the doctor, and as we were getting out of the car, she was stepping over the curb and didn't quite make it and fell and hit her head and got black
Ooh,
and blue, and she was all ready for Halloween.
wow.
oh dear.
Getting better now, though. So, all right. Anyway, be safe out there.
Thank you, Larry.
Take
Thank
care.
you, Larry.
Bye-bye.